Hey everybody, what is going on? CerealOverdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is a 50 PED mining run on Arkadia. What we're going to be doing on Arkadia is we're going to be looking for ores, end matter, and treasure. So basically I'm going to be looking for treasure instead of the usual 50 PED ore and end matter mining run. So it's a little bit different. It's going to cost a little bit more per drop. So treasure does cost 1.5 PEDs per drop, which is exactly what I'm spending to look for ores and end matter. So right now, ore costs 1 PED to find, end matter costs 50 PECs or 0.5 PEDs to find, and treasure costs 1.5 PEDs. Sorry about the sirens in the background. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not. Also, Mindark, when are you going to fix this graphic? Look at how he holds the dropping tool right there. It's those little things that annoy me sometimes. And there we go. Now he's good. He's running and looking at his thing, and life is good again. So as you can see, first drop, first hit. That's pretty good. But again, when you're looking for 3 things, like you're probably going to get a hit almost every time. But that doesn't necessarily mean good things or bad things. I feel like those sirens are like right under me right now because I don't know if see, this is one of the things when you're recording. It's so hard for me to tell if like people can hear that or not. Like there's always this background noise, like just from the street outside, right? And I'm never sure if people can hear it or not. I'd love to get to the point where I can get like a nice office, sort of soundproof room, and have everything just running perfectly, but I'm not there yet. And that would be like a while, because you see all these YouTubers with like their nice professional setups, and then here I am sitting at like a dinky little desk. I'm like, oh man. But at the same time, I get it. Like, I'm not putting in the same amount of work that they are, right? And I'm not as good as they are by far. So, it is what it is. No treasure yet. We did get some skill gains. We got 2 drops. That's not too bad. So I think the treasure is going to be something that we're not going to find a ton of. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it or not. But I wanted to give it a shot. I looked it up. Some people have had a lot of luck with it. A lot of people don't, just because of the skill difference. You're going to see, like, even for me, right? So my treasure skill is like about level 6 or something like that. And if you look at the mining tool that I'm using, completely maxed out on everything but treasure hunting. I'm a little bit lower there. My average search depth is lower. So what you guys are seeing here is, well, you're seeing me using a tool that's probably not the best for this, but at the same time, I didn't want to lower the equipment I was using just for treasure, because then I'm wasting a lot on the ore and end matter, I feel like, right? Like, my thought is, hey, if I've got a really deep finder and I'm looking for really deep loot, why am I going to switch over and use something else? I don't know. Alright, so we got some different stuff. Oop, I almost mined again. Luckily, Mindark knew what I was doing. That's a nice feature, right? When you've got that. So now the way it works is when I've got that resource claim there, when I hit F or the use option, it's not going to automatically use it, because it's like, hey, we know what you want to do. We know you want to extract this, and we're not going to drop those probes on you. I really appreciate that, Mindark. It's a really cool ad. But yeah, the treasure is a little bit more expensive, and I didn't want to downgrade my mining tools just to look for treasure. And part of the problem is it's something that you're only going to ever see on Arkadia. So if I was thinking about coming to Arkadia and mining a lot more, I'd probably be more interested in it. But for now, I'm like, let's hold off. Ooh, we're getting some nice claims. That was a treasure one. Also, you'll notice here, we've got some big mobs out here. So I'm going to have to make sure I avoid them. I'm running unarmored, but even armored, I could not take on a level 46 mob. If any of you guys are interested, maybe we can team up and do it someday. So sort of my max mob, if they're doing the right type of damage to me, is about level 27, okay? Or not 27, sorry. That's like my max. Like level 27, level 29. A level 40, there's no way I could take on. I'd have to be using like a ton of different... I'd have to probably get a better gun, and then I'd probably have to be more on top of a revive point so I could get the mob a little bit closer and sort of run back and forth every time I die, because I die a ton killing that thing. And that's all assuming that my armor can even protect against it. So right now my armor, like the ghost armor that I usually use, is super well set up for, well, here, I'll show you. For sort of protection against cut and impact and stab. So you can see those are all in the 20s with impact being in the 30s. So that means I can take on some pretty hefty mobs. But at the same time, one of the problems you're going to find is like anything that does cold damage or acid damage or anything like that, I'm just, I'm sort of lost. It's a lost cause, basically. So let's keep going, see what we can find here. Hopefully this is going to be somewhat informational for you guys. As far as the treasure finding goes, I'm spending 25 PEDs just looking for treasure. So it's going to be interesting to see sort of what that yields. That's mainly what this run was about. For those wondering where I'm at, I'm in the desert. I know a few of you guys did recommend this area, so I figured I'd check it out and we'll see what's going to happen here. In the past, I've come here and had some really good luck, so I wanted to try that again and hope that maybe I could get a nice helping of luck again. But we'll see how it goes. We're headed out to the sea here. Maybe I should try one of these islands, right? Like this could have some potential, I feel like. There's definitely a teleporter here. I just don't have it. I don't have all my teleporters anymore. That used to be a huge thing in Entropia. Everybody's always like, get your teleporters. But that was before anybody really had ships. So the best we had back then was teleportation ships. And the problem with teleportation ships is you don't always know where you're jumping. So it's very easy for you to accidentally jump into the middle of a mob. And then you get killed. And nobody wants to sit around and wait for you to try and like hack your way across, well, Calypso or whatever planet you're on. But now with ships, you just take off and fly over there. And it's no big deal. So they sort of got rid of that sort of necessity, which is nice. I like it. It makes it a lot easier too when I'm with you guys. Because if I want to do a society hunt or if I'm doing like a subscriber hunt, usually too, if you guys are interested in hunting with me, come on the Discord. That's where I always am like, hey, anyone interested in hunting? I'm not doing any sort of subscriber hunts or any sort of planned hunts anymore because when I was doing them, it would work out for everybody, but there were a few times that just like I got on and I didn't really feel like hunting or it just wasn't like the perfect time for me or I had other stuff to do. And I'm like, at this point, it's starting to feel more and more like a job. And I'm like, do I really want to get paid like way below minimum wage to do this? And I'm like, no, I don't. So, yeah, that was why I made that decision. Ooh, we got some more arrowheads. I don't even know if these things are worth anything, but, we're getting some arrowheads. We got some bronze before in the last video that went up. I'm not sure if it did or not. So here we go. We've got our arrowheads. Is there any story behind it? No, this is part of a treasure. And they don't really sell for anything. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the issues I think we're going to find with treasure. We're going to find some cool stuff, but I don't think we're going to find anything that we can actually go ahead and sell. Or anything that we can actually go ahead and just like sell to people for a markup. Probably when this stuff was originally dropping, a lot of people were buying it at a high markup because they're not sure what it was. That's how it always works. Like when something's initially released, people are going to pay through the nose for it. I remember when extractors first came out, there were people paying 1,000% markup for extractors that are now worth basically 100%. And even after release, like it was one of those things that like the first week they were selling 1,000%. Second week, they're selling at 500%. Third week, they're down to like 150. And it's like, I wonder if those people who bought it initially regret it or if they're just happy. I don't know. I mean, I bought my spaceship. I bought this guy right here, this quad wing. I bought that right on release, right when they came out, and I couldn't be happier. So this one and these two I bought right on release, and the fact that they decay so little, it just means that I haven't run into any issues with them. Ooh, we're getting some nice treasure deeds here. So we got treasure and end matter. I'm thinking the treasure might actually be worth it. This could be surprising, folks. This could be a good surprise. I'll be very happy. Because I know I want a good video. I want a good video where it's like I get a lot of profit, we get to talk some treasure, and everybody's happy. Because let's be honest, the videos where I global, the videos where I make profit, those are like way more fun to watch. But I'm not gonna purposely not upload a video because I just don't feel like, I feel like that's a bit dishonest. Because I've seen people doing that with like poker and blackjack and roulette and everything, where they'll do these online casinos and they're uploading like just videos of them going on these long winning streaks time after time after time. And with poker, it actually is sort of possible. But when you never upload the losses, it gives people this idea of, I can do that too. And I think that's dishonest when it comes to something that costs actual money. Ninja uploading a million videos where he wins at Fortnite, fine. Like, if you want to go play Fortnite for 30 hours a week to figure out that Ninja's doing it for 90, and, you know, he's been doing it since he was like, I don't know, he used to be a Halo player back in the day. I actually used to watch him a lot. I like follow him because I really did like that Halo competitive scene. But yeah, like if you want to go do that, fine. There's a cost in time, but there's not a cost in money. But if you want to do something like that involves gambling or something like that, then there's a very real cost in time and in money. And like let's face it, time is a very limited resource in the sense that we only get so much of it. And despite what Joe Rogan and all those experts say, we don't know if that's going to be an unlimited resource or not. Money is limited, but it's limited by the time you've got to earn it. So like time's limited, but at the same time, it's not. Like I don't know. It's a weird thing because I know time is like this limited resource, but at the same time, I'm like, well, you need money to free your time, and like if you're spending time and money, you're sort of doubling down on the waste there, right? Like if you play Fortnite for 30 hours a week, at some point you might decide, hey, this isn't fun anymore, and you're done, you're out. Boom. You wasted whatever you spent on skins, which could be a significant amount of money, but yeah, I don't know. When I played Fortnite, it was crazy. Like there's people that get new skins every week, and it's like those things are $20, dude. But then again, I go to a bar and I order like a $5 beer, and I get like 20 of them. So not 20. I'm not an alcoholic, but you guys know what I mean. So I can't throw stones. I can't throw stones. Why can't we drop here? What's going on? For some reason, it's not letting me drop my probes. This is weird. Huh. So for some reason, I'm having some issues dropping probes. And there we go. Okay. It was just like stuck or glitched or something. Or maybe I think I was hitting F and I need to hit E. I don't know. Ooh. That was a pretty good claim. Is that a treasure? Yeah. That was pretty nice. Average is a really good claim. But yeah, basically the way I feel is when you're doing something with real money, you want to upload the losses and the successes. That way people get a real idea for sort of how everything goes. It was a very long-winded way of saying that. Sorry, guys. But I don't know. I don't want to throw stones, but I just don't like the videos where people upload saying like, look at this, I'm winning, winning, winning. And it's like, yeah, like poker or something like that, you can stack the odds, but if you're only showing like every video where you put down $10,000 and double it, like either you're about to buy a mansion in Beverly Hills, or you're being very dishonest about this, you know? Because hell, if I could win at blackjack 75% of the time, like some of the people make it look like with their videos, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be playing blackjack instead of going to work, because 8 hours of that, I could have a shit ton of money. Especially a 75% win rate. But that's not how casinos work, and that's not how the numbers work. Same with Entropia. Anyways, you can see we're getting some new skills here, too. Precision Artifact Extraction. So for those of you guys who are interested in this number right here, total skill points, mining for treasure, that is going to pop those way up. There's skills that are going to be completely useless outside of Arkadia, but if you're just looking for that total count, if you're going for like 100k or something, I know some of you guys are, this might be the way to do it. So let's keep going here. Let's take a look at that treasure that we got too. Something to talk about here. Ooh, I forgot about this. So let's see what the markup is on this stuff. So this is, wow. Woohoo, this is actually a big markup. 200%. Holy shit. I didn't know. I knew Arkadia was strong as far as the auction house went, but I didn't think it was going to be this strong. That's impressive. What do we hear? Okay, this one doesn't have any markup. Unfortunately, I've got 5 PDs of this, and if this markup holds true, this like 200%, 250%, we're looking at 5 PEDs of extra markup, which is insane. For Entropia, like the way Entropia works right now, it is so hard to find stuff like that. And I don't know if that's just luck or what, but like seriously, man, that is a solid find right there. And we're finding more treasure. We're finding more treasure. I came out here thinking treasure might not be worth it, and it looks like I'm going to be convinced otherwise. Or the numbers might prove it at least, right? Like, look at that. 9 PDs, 5 PDs, another 6. Like, Arkadia, you're surprising me. In a good way, in a good way. Arkadia Moon might have been a little bit of a negative surprise, whereas Arkadia is definitely looking positive. Definitely liking it. I wish I could buy some deeds for just Arkadia, the planet, like I could buy for Calypso. But then again, I always wonder, like, if you buy, like, at what point does it not become worth it for people to develop, right? Like, because at some point, the developers won't even hold enough deeds that they're going to want to develop for it. So, like, think about that, right? Like, that would be a horrible, horrible thing that would happen, where, like, they sell 100% of the deeds, and the company's just like, well, now we're done. And then everybody sits on this dying planet that never gets any updates because it's basically, I don't know what they'd be doing with that, but, like, they've got to get some percent of the profit. So at the same time, I'm sort of glad they're keeping the profit because that shows that they've got faith in it and that they're actually making money for everything. All right, and there we go. We finally got some of the old school favorites here, some ore and some end matter. We got some zinc stone and azure pearls, or however you say that. These are actually some pretty legit things right here. These guys have some decent markup on them. The problem with a lot of this markup is somehow you've got to get some of this stuff back to Calypso. And I can't. To do that in the raw form, you've either got to take the risk of flying it back yourself in your little ship. You could try doing it with a mothership. I know a lot of the people that actually run the motherships will get very upset with you if you do that. Because what they want is everybody comes on the mothership without anything. Because if, let's say, everybody knows that the mothership carries, 10,000 PEDs worth of stuff back and forth between two planets every so often, pirates are going to all get together, attack a mothership, take it down, and they're going to get all that loot. So what the captains don't want to happen is that everybody just takes all their good loot, thousands of PEDs worth onto these ships on their scheduled jump points, because then if you're a pirate, you know exactly. Look at that. Another good claim, folks. This is... Oops, I dropped again, but I was considering a double drop. I didn't want to. I accidentally hit the wrong button, but let's see. Maybe this is going to work out. Fingers crossed here. Come on. All right, no, it didn't. All right, let's just mine this stuff up. But yeah, what the pilots don't want is for you to jam all your resources in, get on the ship, and jump over, because I'm not sure what happens. I don't know if you can shoot each other on the mothership, but that could be a possibility. That would be a rather hilarious possibility of just player killing people on the mothership. I'm pretty sure you get blacklisted from like every mothership in existence, but it'd be a very cool thing to try. And then the other problem is, outside of the mothership, if all these people hear about, like, hey, there's a ton of money going through these things, they're just gonna gang up one weekend, get on that mothership, and just everybody start shooting and take it down. Because when the money's there, and if it's a high enough amount of money, people will do it. That's how the game always works. I know there's people that get upset about the oil rig getting shot out there and stuff like that. But again, if the money's there, if the challenge is there and the money's there, there's a lot of people that want to do it. There's a lot of people with really good guns, really good gear that they bought specifically for, going out into space and hunting, or they got it for maybe land grabs. And all of a sudden, it's like those things don't happen that often, or maybe they're not doing them anymore. But if the time comes, they can show off that gear and break even, they'll do it. So yeah, it's the same with the oil rig, right? People love to go out there with their land grab gear. So land grabs used to be these things where, and we'll drop this last probe, where all the players, where Mindark would say, hey, there's this land area. If one society, if they can take control and hold that land area as theirs, there's those claim markers there. If they can keep themselves as the one who owns the claim marker for X amount of hours or X amount of time, they get all the revenue from that land area split between everybody in the society. So those of you guys who see those societies where there's a skill limit or skill minimum, that's why, because those societies probably are interested in the land grab, and the next time that comes up, they want to have a society put together that can all go out there, hold that land area, and then hopefully make everybody in that society a lot of money, because then players are going to come there hunting, and now for the next year, 2 years, whatever it is, they're getting revenue from that thing. A lot of money's burned through it. There's a lot of PEDs that are just shot off. But it's a really good event because it gets people to buy like some of the higher level PvP gear, and then those players just end up sitting on the gear until the next land grab. And some of those players, they do go to the oil rig just to keep their PvP skills up, and because it's a good way to just sort of sit there, you can get your oil, you can talk to all the other like amazing like Uber players out there, maybe shoot at each other every once in a while, but like overall they just love doing that, and it is good practice for them. And yeah, that's sort of a very basic overview of the land grab. If one ever goes on again, I'm definitely going to get out there and record it because those things are awesome. Like, I want to see that again because that was, like, such a cool event. If any of you guys are from Mindark, like, why aren't you doing that more? That should be, like, a yearly event. That should be, like, Merry Mayhem because it's so much fun. Anyways, let's check out the loot here, and then I'm going to answer that PM that's been blinking down there. So as far as loot goes, we didn't do too bad here. So we spent 25 PDs looking for ores and end matter, and we got about 17.91 back. So we definitely took a loss. A little bit of markup here, but we still took a loss. Now let's pop over here. It's 25 PEDs again, and we managed to get 28 back. And remember, we're getting some nice markup on this one. We're getting an extra 5 PEDs. And on this, is there any markup? No. This is worth nothing. But we got some nice markup on the bismuth fragments. I'm probably going to be putting that on auction right after I end this video. So in total, we've got 46.35 PEDs of loot. We've got probably a nice 10% markup on average, maybe a little bit under that, but we do have the nice markup on this, which is going to be at least 5 PEDs. So overall, with the auction fees and all that, we're actually going to come out ahead on this run, even though the TT value is under. So we lost probably like 9-ish, 8%, something like that. But once everything's sold on auction and all that, we're going to actually be coming out ahead by like 1 or 2 PEDs. So yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good run. That's a perfect example of sort of the run that you want to have on average. And if I can keep doing runs like this where I'm losing money to Arkadia but making money off of the players, this is going to be the perfect place to come to mine. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And for those of you who don't know, this is the area I'm in, like right here in this desert off in the bottom left-hand corner. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, as always, feel free to post them down below. But until next time, peace.